Hey YouTube, it's Deesus. Today we're playing a game called Grim Clicker. So I just kind of want to give a review of the game. So Grim Clicker is basically your typical idle game. Basically what that means is the longer you play, the more your stats are going to start snowballing. You're going to progressively get stronger, unlock even more ridiculous skills, and it just kind of goes endlessly, the more you play. So I've been playing for quite a bit, so at this point, I am fairly far. So I'm just going to kind of go over what I've learned so far. So every time you level, you get a certain number of skill points. You start out only getting 3 skill points per level. You're able to spend shards, which you can either buy with money or you can earn doing in-game quests. They're pretty generous on in-game quests. It does take a while. So if you do end up, buying like the 2,000 shard pack for $49, you can definitely speed up progress. It's not really a pay-to-win game, just because everything is attainable for free, and there's really not a whole lot of like PvP aspects. There's none really in the game other than just being able to have bragging rights, like look how great I am. I have not tried it just because I try to game with integrity. I don't like to cheat in games because I feel like it takes a lot of the fun out. But I'm sure this game would probably be easy to cheat. I can't imagine. It's very encrypted. It looks like it's probably made by a small team of people. All in all, though, so like I love idle games, and so this is definitely one of my more favorite idle games I've played recently. So you actually have 3 types of trees. You have strength, dexterity, and wisdom. And I realize that this says mechanics. So what has happened is on the strength tree, I actually ended up picking this skill, the general, which transforms you into a mechanical general. So this skill is actually really awesome. It replaces your dexterity tree, which I went pure strength before I picked this. So I'm not really sure if had I put points into dexterity, if it would have helped with the mechanic tree. I'm not really sure how that would actually have worked or what that interaction is. But when you are playing as the general, you have no energy. You just have basically endless energy because you are mechanical. So you have energy down here, which you get oil, which oil is used to end up, getting your skills and stuff like that. And so every time this bar progresses, you gain oil. So I'm going to go ahead and put one more skill point in there. That gave me 4 oil. I can actually go ahead and probably upgrade this a little bit. And basically once this progresses, I'll get some oil. I'm not sure how much oil it gives you every time you progress. This is the first time I've played as the mechanical general because you have to make it really far. But you get skill points and you get to put points in, so you get to level up the tree. So you have like each level of strength, each level of mechanics or dexterity, each level of wisdom, and then as you level up, as you reach these certain points, you unlock actual skills. So I've played, like I said, probably, well, it says I have 3,000 hours. Most of that's idle time. But basically, what I've learned to be a really strong build is I go pure strength. And what I look to do is I end up taking this skill, March. I'll start with like 1 point there. Once you're able to take this mask on, so you can only have one mask, which it tells you at a time. And so these are really powerful passives. So this makes my bonus from strength 10 times greater. So this will only be 1,000% right now. It's 10,000 because of that skill. And then you have these swords down here. Now this is a sword I ended up spending money for. This is a pay to win sword for sure. It ends up getting a double bonus. So it's getting 20,000% bonus right now as opposed to just 10,000 for my other stuff. So you can see how that kind of stacks up. So this total damage right now is 7.9 billion. Now these swords, as you can see, are doing more damage, but they're also way more expensive, and so this is a good like starter sword. See, it's already 265. As I level it up, it has the potential to snowball and get better, and I think that's why it costs more. It's a great sword, really, for just how cheap it is leveling up early game. It really makes early leveling great. Eventually, I can unlock these other slots, but it takes a ludicrous amount of black wax. As you can see, that one is, I mean, let's see, that'd be ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10, so 25 million is how much black wax that takes, which I'll go over how you get that here later. But the build that I found works really well is you use March, and then eventually you'll get this. This is huge, and then you'll end up eventually getting um, this skill, which I guess is pronounced indefeatability, indefeatability. I don't. I mean, what a word, right? Indefeat ability. And what it does is it increases the percentage per second that you are actually getting added to your damage while using March. So this starts out at only 1%. So as you can see, you get the duration of this really high. So it can last 78 minutes. So whereas it would normally just be 79, or it would normally just be 1% per second, it's now 79% per second. That is insane. I mean, if we want to go ahead and just look at it, I'm getting, this is how much percentage I'm getting. So if you look at that, that's ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, that's 230,000% that I'm getting just from those skills. That's absolutely amazing. That's nuts. I get to do that. I don't know why. That's funny. I don't know why. Oh, okay. I guess I can turn myself out of it. I really shouldn't have done that. But I just think it's a really cool little setup here. Um, yeah, I greatly regret doing that. See, now I have energy and now I'm tired. But now we actually get to see. Nope. So it completely replaces the tree. So I'm assuming if I use that skill again, I'll go back to having my mechanic tree, which I will use as soon as this thing is off cooldown, which is huge. But eventually, you're able to use your ritual. So when you use your ritual, see, this is how much black wax it'll give me. Now here's your multiplier. In your multiplier, you get a higher number here the more times you're able to beat a shard. And so there's actually a galaxy page, which I can't really show you right now because I don't want to get out of the thing to end up, because I'd have to actually leave the shard, which would kind of mess up what I'm doing. But you have all these different shards, and once you reach a certain level, like normally it's level 40, but in this one it's going to be level 50, so I'm almost done with the shard. You'll unlock one of these, like knowledge symbols, and so you'll unlock, these different skills, which are very powerful, and that helps progress it. And then each shard sometimes has like an extra thing, like this one, I get like an extra mana per second, something along those lines. And then as you beat bosses, you also get souls, which you can then use to like do things like this. So right now, for 5 souls, I can improve my damage passively every time that fills up. Now, if you're on the dexterity tree, there's actually a mask you can put on that increases the speed of this filling up by 20%. Early game, not very strong. Once you end up getting more souls, I imagine that's going to be a way more attractive mask to pick up. Early game, I would definitely recommend strength. I think strength all the way is the easier play on that. Your potions are also going to be really helpful. There's just a lot of aspects to this game, really. For as simple of a game as it is, there's truly a lot going on. So you also get your achievements. So you can see I've gotten 40 out of 60, so I'm pretty far. But these will eventually give you chests for free, which is really nice. They give you lots of free shards as you do these little quests. So here's like the quests. So each one of these give 4. And see, this one's my main quest. I have to pass zone 50 in order to travel to another shard. So we're about to get to that boss, and then we'll be able to do that. Here's the shop here. So here's the different potions you can get. Now these change every time. So this potion's really nice because this instantly kills everything on the screen. And then it's with the exception of champions. So you're able to gain lots of experience, lots of rubies, which is what you use to level up your weapons, really fast, and it's awesome. Now the energy potions and the mana potions I think are a waste of money. This one I think is a waste of money 90% of the time, because if you reach that really hard pass, you're probably not going to be able to make it much further anyway, and the little bit of extra candles it gives you probably just not going to be worth it. Now there is a skill that lets you basically use this potion as a stage skipper for once you level up enough with the black wax, and I can see that being useful later on. For right now, even after do 50 stages, I feel like that's a waste of my black wax. I prioritize initial damage, rubies, and experience. There's two different ones. There's an experience multiplier. This is experience in general. And then there's the experience per enemy that you kill. You'll want to upgrade those kind of neck and neck. As one gets higher than the other, you might alternate. That way you're getting a pretty even spread there. That's going to maximize your experience gain, because it does take a lot of experience to level up. I mean, you can see below there I'm at 2 million of 3.7 million. These potions randomly change every time I revive. So every time I do the ritual, as it's called in this game, and I reset and I get that black wax, these actually change. So they have the unicorn blood that gives you a really powerful lichen transformation. I'm assuming that's very strong. That's one of the in-game dexterity ones. I have not done that yet. However, I plan on trying it out. We might even be able to try that out pretty soon. I might make another video where I get to try that out. Now, you get things like Vampire Potion, like that stacks. Like all these potions will actually stack if you buy a bunch of them, but they randomly change out. So, like they had a Skill Potion, gives you 5 skill points. It's not too bad. I mean, they could definitely help give you a boost. I can see buying several of those might help in a really tough run. Strength Potion gives you just like a temporary level boost, and so this is going to give you +2 to strength. I'm assuming that is +2 to the total level. So, I mean, this is actually pretty strong, because what +2 could possibly mean, using that potion could mean that at this level you're already able to get these, or at this level you're already able to get these. Like basically that 2 point is going to give you enough to get to the next thing. So I mean, it takes a lot of skill points to even get to this point. So as you can see, I have 39 points into that skill, 25 points into that skill, 14 into that skill. So if I really wanted to, I could easily have just filled this bar out and probably made it to the end, because you get a pretty fair amount of skill points, because I'm getting 6 skill points per level because I have spent some shards, I have leveled up. So, you know, there's that to consider. Um, I really just can't wait to go mechanical again. That's really slowed down things. You get these different chests you can open up. You get lots of free ones, so I really wouldn't spend money on these. If you were to spend money, you might spend your free shards on this. It's pretty easy to get 20 shards. The Grim Chest, I would never spend any type of shards on these. They're very hit and miss on if they're good or not, and you get lots of free ones because every time you get a new world, your wax resets and you're able to level up everything again with a higher multiplier. So you're going to get that wax very quickly, and you're going to get those Grim Chests very quickly. The Celestial Chest happens when you complete those quests. Boss Chest happens, and these normally have the boss soul. They have a chance of having a soul in them. You know, these you get as you defeat bosses. They come pretty steady. I think it's about every 4 or 5 bosses you normally get one. The Living Chest I have actually not used, and then the Shard Chest I have not gotten to use. I'm assuming they're very powerful. Whatever's in the Shard Chest, I'm assuming is very, very powerful. It kind of tells you what's in there. So for the Shard Chest, you're looking at a weapon quality of 4. You get double chance of boss soul there on the Living Chest. That's pretty cool. The weapon of quality 4 higher. I mean, that's some pretty cool stuff. And you can get like the really fancy rare prefixes like rainbow, flaming, you know, etc., etc. So you'll get swords kind of like this. This will be something similar to what you'll get in a chest like that. So you can see things are starting to already slow down for me. When I was mechanical, I was able to use this, which that was actually the skill I was going to talk about. So what I've found to be a really strong kind of I wouldn't say in-game build, because I don't really know if I know what in-game is truly in this game. And when you're talking about an idle game, I would use in-game sparingly, because there's really not a true in-game. But I have found that March mixed with indefeatability, and then you mix that with the blacksmith craft, because it's automatically going to be upgrading your weapons, so you can really go pure idle. You put about 25 points in here, that's going to give you a little over an hour. You pump some points into that, and then you put one into the general, and you put a couple into this. So this has you click 10 times per second. This would drain your energy. I mean, your energy would be gone within a second. But with the mechanical general not using energy, it's amazing, and you just plow through everything. So I really wasn't sure what I was doing when I hit that because I've never used the skill before. So I mean, it's been kind of a learning experience. So that's turned me back to the normal guy. That's fine. Which the whole point of this video is more or less to give a review. So here is the bag that you have. If I can find my mouse. Okay. So you go in here, so here's like the things I have in my backpack. I can go to craft where I can upgrade, I can put a charm in, I can dismantle them, and here's like my resources I have. So I'm actually going to do some dismantling because I really don't want that ring, I really don't need that, I really don't need that. And then I would like to keep upgrading this sword. So I'm going to see if I have what it takes to upgrade this sword. So we're going to take it out, we're going to go to upgrade, so it takes 72 and 8. And I don't quite have enough to upgrade yet, so that's okay. But we'll get there. So that's kind of how you upgrade. I'm assuming once you get enough souls, like, I mean, this would be amazing to learn a skill. That's really cool. I'm assuming that, like, if this takes 5, if I had 10, then this would cut the time in half. So that's showing you kind of how long it's taking. So it's 1% per soul, looks like. So we just leveled up again. See, I have quite a few skill points I could actually be putting in right now. So there's 2.83.4. I mean, you can see how much my damage increases. Let's see here. What do we want? Now let's go ahead and give this a try. This seems interesting. Then let's pump a bunch of points into this. Should really be cooking with gas now. And I probably won't be able to get the mechanical general again until we end up beating the boss, and that's fine. This is where your potions go. These are all the different potions. You actually get several free potions. I've really never had to buy a potion before. They're pretty fair with them. I don't want to say they're overly generous, but they do give you some, mostly when you beat bosses and stuff. And then this seems to grow pretty quick. I imagine this is probably going to be like 8, 9. So, you know, this is just like a whole multiplier. So if I was to perform the ritual right now, I get 13.1 thousand black wax. And you can see kind of the cost of things when you look here in the black wax store. Like, that's going to, I'm going to be able to supercharge my guy. Basically, instead of going and getting the black wax as often as I should, I kind of just went, did my own thing, let this go idle as idle games should. So if I was to restart, say right now, I could probably level up to level 54. I mean, this has probably been running about 2.5 hours. I could probably get there in like 40 minutes, maybe even a little bit less. So here's the boss. Looks like we're going to have no problem beating the boss. You can also click to use some of your energy. I mean, they give you, I mean, we have 2 minutes, 40 seconds. There's no way we're not going to beat the boss. And the only reason why I'm not going to restart is because there's no point. Because once you beat the boss, you go to a next shard, your guy gets totally reset, everything gets reset, you're starting from scratch, it's like a new world, but you do get that multiplier. So you're going to end up going faster, you also get the knowledge, and with the knowledge you get, you know, those better skills, which you can kind of see. Well, it's grayed out now because I'm in a boss fight, but you kind of see what you can get. So you get to use those knowledge points. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the game. So if you really enjoy idle games, Grim Clicker I think is one to definitely check out. I think it's a great game. I'll continue playing it. I'll probably do another video later once I complete my first galaxy. So I'm still on the first galaxy. You have to actually do this a few times. So I'll show you that before we end up ending the video. So we just completed this. Okay. We've completed our goal here, collect our reward. So see, we're going to end up increasing that by 6.18 times because we would end up getting 53.6k wax. So we're going to go ahead and, um, one thing I've actually been kind of curious on, I wonder if I was to do this right now. Perform the ritual. Because I just wonder if I can get, because one thing I haven't been doing is spinning this wax. I wonder if I couldn't end up getting, oh, nope, I guess I should have done that. Oops. Well, there you go. I was wanting to spin to just see if I couldn't get some more black wax, but that's okay, because like I said, we're going to go through this really fast now. So we're just going to do that. And then our initial damage is going to be way more rubies. And total damage. We didn't even end up getting a chest, that kind of stinks. But we should level up really fast. Then we're already level 14. This will make us go a little faster. Since I'm early on, I'm going to go ahead and show you the deal. I don't know, I don't want to end up screwing up my game. But basically you have these different shards, and then you pick the shard you want to go on. I'll have another quest, like however many zones you have to complete, and then you end up getting more knowledge. So we could have actually went to the next zone. I screwed up. Now I'm going to have to go through all 50 levels again, but I'll get to kind of see some more in-game skills because now my guy is way over leveled, and I'm assuming I'll probably end up getting a bigger multiplier at the end, because that's actually what it looks like it was doing, is it was taking your extra leftover wax you would have had, adding the new multiplier, so I would have ended up getting like an additional 6 added to it, 6.9 or whatever it was. So that's where it was coming from. It's going to be like 53,000 wax or something. So pretty cool. It, like I said, it's a great game, and I love idle games. So I'm a big fan of the genre. So for me to say I enjoy this game, I mean I really do. If I had to put it on a 1 to 10 scale as far as idle games go, and I mean I've played pretty much all of them. Started playing from Clicker Heroes on. Um, I would have to say this one's probably a solid 7, 8 for me. I have a lot of fun playing it. I feel like you have a lot of skill diversity here. There's lots of choices you can pick from. It's just overall a very satisfying, very nice game. I would highly recommend, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and leave a subscribe or a like. Drop some comments. Let me know some other games you'd like to play, and I appreciate the time we spend together, YouTube. I've enjoyed making these videos for you guys, and I enjoy the hobby. It's given me something to do throughout the day when I get the time, so it has been a fun experience, and I look forward to growing the channel and learning from you guys, and hopefully making some lasting connections out there. I'd love to get to know each of the people that's watching this. It would be cool to game sometime. I'm always down to game. I love to game. Me and my kiddo, we enjoy Fortnite. We enjoy Fall Guys. Pretty much open for whatever. So I appreciate the chance for allowing me to make content, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great holiday.